Hello, I am recording this video for WIP Wednesday. So get your beverage, get your project, come on in and hang out with me. Say hello in the comment section and let me know what it is that we do together on WIP Wednesdays. If you don't know what to say, if I were in the comment section of somebody's video, I'd say hi from Washington State. I'm knitting a shawl today, so that's what I'm going to be whipping up with you today. And if you want to know, say, hey, May, what shawl are you working on? Well, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, I sometimes design my own work, but this is not one of my own designs. This is the Noble Crescent shawl. It's a free pattern on the Cascade Yarn website because we're working with Cascade Yarn's Noble Cotton. So, if you watched let's see if I can even find my yarn. So if you watched my video on Monday of this week, it was a yarn unboxing. It was a yarn haul from Paradise Fibers, and if you don't know, you've probably seen on my channel lots of videos for Paradise Fibers because they are my favorite local yarn store. So I do videos for their sales and I do videos on my orders. I like to promote local yarn stores. I mean, obviously, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, I just love to talk about yarn. I love to talk about yarn sales, but I love to support small businesses too, right? Just local stores. So I've even been to Paradise Fibers, and I don't even drive, and I don't live in Spokane. Yes, they are located in Spokane, Washington, in eastern Washington, right up against Spokane, Washington is right up against kind of the border between Washington and Idaho. So, hey, yarn lovers, fiber enthusiasts, what about that summer road trip, right? You're going on a vacay, you got a summer road trip coming up. If you do, and you're anywhere near eastern Washington or Idaho, and if you love yarn or you love to knit and crochet, I highly, highly recommend that you put a couple hours in your traveling schedule and you stop off at Paradise Fibers. Yeah, stop in. You will have so much fun, right? I mean, they have yarn. They have Cascade yarns, right? Obviously, they have a lot. If you love Cascade yarns, I love Cascade yarns. Okay, if you love Cascade yarns, they got that Cascade 220 line. They got the Cascade 128. They got your Noble Cotton. They got your Nifty Cotton. They have nice acrylics there too. So you can get a variety of your Cascade yarns. You can get your Malabrego there. Yeah, if you're like me and you like Malabrego, yeah, you can get your Rios there and your Arroyo, and you can touch the yarn. Yeah, you can. You can pet the Malabrego. I'm just saying. So they have some beautiful, beautiful yarns there. So in my last video, I was doing a yarn unboxing and we were looking at this yarn. This is the Cotton Noble, which I bought. So tell me what you think. This is in the sun-dried tomato. So tell me what you think of the sun-dried tomato. Tell me, have you worked with Cascade Noble Cotton before? And what do you think of the sun-dried tomato? Because, if you're a returning viewer, you know why I'm asking about your thoughts on the sun-dried tomato. And thank you for your patience while I briefly introduce myself to anybody who might be new to my channel. Hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, completely colorblind. And so, color, I love yarn and I love knitting. But figuring out colors, what colors I can wear, what colors I can put together is by far the most challenging aspect of knitting and crochet for me. So if you want to know more about my visual impairment or my diagnosis, I encourage you to watch my very first video called introduction. If you're interested in some of the eye surgeries I've had, you can watch a video called May's Memoir of all things. It's about my shoes. Yeah, where I talk about some of my eye surgeries. So, feel free to check out other videos on my channel. So, let me know. Okay, Noble Cotton. I ordered it, but well, actually, I didn't order. That's the thing. Like, I placed my order with Paradise Fibers, and I saw that they had the Noble Cotton in sun-dried tomato, and I was like, right? As somebody who's colorblind, I was thinking that sun-dried tomato might be pretty orangey. It sounded orangey to me, and I was like, ooh, I know. People have said, mate, you can't wear orange. That is not a good color for you to wear around your face. So I didn't buy it. Like, I can wear it as like an accent color. I've asked my sister, can I wear it like on a stripe, on a skirt, like orange reds? And she's like, yeah. But, she's like, you can't wear orange, orange reds near your face. It's not a good color for you. So I waited till the weekend, and I talked to my sister over on the East Coast, and I was asking her, I was like, can we look at some yarn and some colors? Right? That's what we do on the phone. That's what we do on the phone, is talk about, yarn, right? And color. So I asked her on the phone, I was like, what about that sun-dried tomato? Is it orange? How orange is it? Is it too orange for me? She's like, no, it's just maybe just a hint of orange, but not too much orange for me to wear. So I did, of course, then I, bought enough for a garment. Yeah, I did. So that's why I'm making a shawl, because I felt like, okay, I can wear that. But here's the thing, like, it's a mercerized cotton. Now, I've been knitting for like 16 years, so I've been shopping for yarn for like 16 years, right? So I've been starting to research, and when I first started knitting, I wasn't super into researching, fiber and yarn. I was just trying to understand how to knit, and I did a little bit of research, but not a lot. I was super busy at that time in my life when I first started knitting. If you don't know, I learned how to knit from my human guide, who was walking with me to participate in Portland to Coast, the world's longest walking relay. So I was training for that. I was on dragon boat teams, multiple dragon boat teams. I was super fit. So fitness was really, the focus of my life. It was the woman who was being my CNI human that I would walk together with a couple times a week that was always talking about her knitting, right? And she was like, you need to knit. And so I was like, a little bit reluctant. Not that I didn't think knitting was cool. I did. My sister knit. I thought knitting was cool. I just, was like, meh. So, I did start to do some research, but it wasn't really until about 2010 when I really started, doing my own research into yarns and fibers and knitting, and just started trying to learn more. So I've been doing, a lot of reading on it for like 15 years, but I'm by no means a textile expert. I'm not. So I don't know a lot about mercerized cotton. I don't understand it very well. So if you do, if you have more knowledge on mercerized cotton, if you work with it more, let me know your thoughts on mercerized cotton, because I've never used it for a garment before. I just haven't. I tend to think mercerized cotton it's definitely can be like a utilitarian cotton. Like, I think of it as sort of like dishcloth and market bags and water bottle slings. I think of it for doilies. I think mercerized cotton is good for doilies, placemats, table runners, even tablecloths. I'm like, this might make a pretty tablecloth, right? It might make a beautiful tablecloth. But I don't know how mercerized cotton behaves over the long run. I mean, I think it's got good drape. Like, looking at it as a shawl, I'm stretching, if you're visually impaired, I'm stretching it out kind of over my legs. I think as a shawl, it's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to have good drape. But I don't know how it's gonna fit for more like a garment or even like a fitted garment. You know, is it going to cottons are funny. Like some cottons really, really shrink, right? And then over time they stretch and they'll stretch and they'll stretch slowly, and then they like never really bounce back. So cottons are funny. I don't totally understand them. So I don't know if this is gonna like hold, like if I made a shirt, like a tank top out of it, is it going to, you know, hold its shape, right? And or not, or is it just gonna be loose? Like could I wear it in a tank top as long as I was good with it being kind of loose and drapey? Because, you know, I don't know. So let me know your thoughts on mercerized cottons. Do you work with it? Do you not? What do you make with mercerized cottons? And have you made garments with it or not? Because I have not, to my knowledge. I for summer garments, I mean, you know, I like to work with wools and wool blends. But you know, for a lot of my summer tops, I do cotton blends. I do like Pima cottons though. I love Pima cottons and Pima cotton blends. But that's different than mercerized cotton. So it is pretty. Like it has kind of a nice sheen and a shine to it, and it's very pretty. But I just don't know like if it's gonna hold its shaping or not. So I'm a little hesitant. Like I do, if you watch my channel, you know that I do like yarn reviews, right? Where I talk about it, or I feature a yarn that I've worked with a little bit, or if it's on sale, I might do a review if I worked with it. But you know, for me to, because this is my first time when I did this order from Paradise Fibers, this was my first time to purchase Noble cotton. So you know, I don't know. Sometimes I think, what was I thinking? I don't know. But I'm really trying to branch out and try new yarns. So I did buy enough to do a garment. So part of me feels like if I were to do like a yarn review on this yarn, part of me feels like I should make a garment with it, right? I mean, usually, you know, like I'm good with making a shawl with it. I definitely, before I do any kind of yarn reviews, I feel like I need to try to knit with the yarn, and I need to try to crochet with the yarn, right? So part of me is like, you know, itching to crochet with it to see what it's like to crochet with. I think it's going to be good to crochet with. Some cottons can be really splitty when you crochet with it. I'm not getting that, you know, feeling so far, like when I'm knitting with it right now. No splittiness, zero splitting. So that's a good indicator already. But you know, crochet, if you watch some of my yarn reviews, you know that I have more issues with splitting with crochet. So we'll see. But I have visited the Cascade website looking for patterns and ideas for the yarn, right? Because that's where I got this pattern from. And they do have some garment patterns, right? I mean, they provide us with free patterns, like a lot of other yarn companies, because, hey, they want us to buy their yarn, right? They want us to buy their product. So they do have some garment patterns on their website. I think like some tops and stuff. And so I was looking at those and, you know, trying to decide, do I want to use their pattern? Or, you know, I love to design my own stuff too. So I'm also thinking, I mean, part of me just is like, use their pattern, because they've done the math, right? They've done the math. And sometimes my brain is lazy, because sometimes I'm sleep deprived. So sometimes I'm like, they've done the math. Just do their pattern, right? But you know how my designer brain is too. I'm kind of feeling like I should design a tank top out of this yarn, like a knit tank top, because this is a knit shawl. Now, obviously, I could design a crochet, or, you know, I love to design crochet knit combo garments as well. You know that if you're a regular viewer on my channel, I got a lot of skirts and shorts and things that are knit and crochet combined. So, you know, I love that. So I haven't fully decided or committed yet to what, if I wanted to design my own project, I haven't, you know, fully, I got ideas in my head. I got things that I'm picturing in my head. They haven't fully formed. I got multiple ideas, of course. So this shawl, it's free and it's pretty simple. It's got like a garter stitch section. It's got a mesh section. It's got a stockinette section. So if I were to design a tank top, if I wanted to make it like maybe to go with this shawl, right? So maybe make like a tank top out of the yarn and then make a shawl to go over the top of it in the evening or something, or inside in the AC. That's kind of what shawls are good for, right? Especially a cotton weight shawl. It could be like a summer evening shawl. I could design a tank top with, some similar features, right? Using sort of the same stitches. I don't know, just things that are going on in my head. I'm still also trying to get better at design construction. I have just a basic foundation of design construction. Like I have designed some tops before, but they're pretty basic. I got, a few tank tops I've designed, and one V-neck tank top I've designed, but my tank tops and my tops that I've designed, they're pretty basic, and there's reasons why. I design tank tops because they're easier for me than designing like tees with sleeves and stuff. So I'm still playing with that. That's still going on in my head. So let me know, have you worked with noble cotton before? Have you worked with mercerized cottons before? Like, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on garments with it in general? Wearables with mercerized cottons? Yeah. So anyways, if you don't know yet, I do pre-record a lot of my videos. Like I'm recording this for WIP Wednesday. It is Tuesday night right now. It's July 8th. It's Tuesday night. And I do that because, I live in a rural area. If you've ever heard about people talking about how rural America, I live in the United States, and rural America desperately needs high-speed internet. That is for real. That is no joke. Our internet is really, really slow here. It's really slow here. So and it doesn't matter, like I've got Wi-Fi in the house, and then I've also got like, Verizon Wireless, and I'm paying a lot of money for 5G service, and it's still, I uploaded a video for my family's vacation. I just did, I gotta see what I'm doing here. Oh my gosh, I did something silly here. I'm not even sure what. Oof, I did something strange here. Oh my. Okay, I gotta unknit here. Have you ever had to unknit? If you knit, do you have to unknit? Knitting, like fixing a mistake in knitting and crochet. If you crochet and you make a mistake, you just pull out your crochet hook, right? And you fix it. That's all. You just pull it out and you just, rip back to that point and you deal with it. Well, knitting's a little more persnickety. It's a little more finicky. You got to keep your stitches on the needle. So, yeah, I just had to unknit a stitch there. I'm not very good. Let me just tell you that. May is not good at unknitting. So what happened is I joined a ball of yarn down here below. I joined a ball of yarn in not too long ago, and so I just I just joined in a ball of yarn down below, and I caught the, when you join a ball of yarn, like you got the, the tails of your previous skein of yarn, right? And the current one that you're working on. So, I just caught my tail and I had just knit a stitch with the tail. Yeah. Do you ever do that? Yikes. Yeah. I sometimes do that. So I have to be super careful, super cognizant of that. So, I think I fixed that problem. You know what? I don't actually know for sure. We might have to be doing a little bit of fixing. I'm not sure what I got going on there. I'm supposed to be on the stockinette section of my shawl. And I did just knit my tail in there, knit with my tail. Think I fixed it. I unknit a stitch, but I don't know. It's feeling like I'm gonna have a bigger gap there than intended with that. So I'm not totally sure what I got going on there. So that could be interesting. I did feel it. Thankfully, I caught it. I was able to pull out one stitch, and I don't know if I needed to pull out another stitch or not. So, we'll figure out on the next row, right, what's happening. I probably should stop and unknit and figure out, like, a knit one more stitch, right? But I just kept knitting because, sometimes you just keep knitting. So anyways, I am at the end of my row. How you all doing? I think I'm gonna flip this thing around. I wasn't gonna do a second row with you because I don't have a clue how long this video is. I don't know how long people like their WIP Wednesday videos. Like, do you like just like a 20-minute video? Do you like a 30-minute video? It's hard because, sometimes I like a nice long video and I just have my people on, right? Like my YouTube crafting buddies on in the background while I'm crafting, while I'm doing stuff, while I'm doing life. But also, there's so many channels that I like to watch. There's so many people that I like to give the watch hours to that, sometimes I feel like I can't get them all in if, everybody's videos are like an hour long. Then, how do you watch everybody, right? In one day. So anyways, yeah, so I don't know that I'm going to purl. I got to purl this row. I'm on a stockinette section of the shawl now. And I'm going to be real with you, okay? I purl slower than I knit. I do. So, I'm guessing most people who knit do. Let me know, do you purl just as quickly as you knit? Do you like to purl just as much? Are you as fast as it? I don't enjoy purling as much as I enjoy knitting. But I don't hate purling either. Like, I don't hate it, right? I don't hate purling. But I'm not as fast. I'm trying to feel where this little boo-boo happened. And this is a little ways away. I'm trying to be real cognizant of that and not make sure that when I get to that spot that I check what's happening there and see, if there's anything that needs to be fixed there or not. I'm not sure if I maybe got like a gap in there, got too many stitches in there. It's feeling, I can feel where the yarn is at, where the tail is. I don't even know how I got that tail up that high, but that happens to me. What do y'all think? Is there kind of a big gap in there? I just can't tell. I can't tell. I don't know what I did there. So I think what we're going to do maybe we'll do like a, feels kind of gappy. Like I did get the tail and my regular yarn in the same stitch maybe? I don't know. So I'm trying to decide if I should purl two together there maybe to close that gap up. Because it feels like I've got an extra strand in there. I'm going to try that. We're going to try to purl two together because I feel like I had both strands, like the working strand and then the tail from the row below in that stitch. So I got to make sure I leave that tail down there below. Don't grab it again. Yeah, it felt to me like I had worked that particular stitch with both. And so I had two strands there, and then it felt like it was kind of gappy, like I was getting a hole there. So I just felt those two strands and just purled them together. Was that the right thing to do? I don't know, but that's kind of knitting with me, okay? That's just kind of what I do. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even tell. I can't tell with sight. I can't tell by feeling. I can't tell. if there's gonna be like an extra large gap in that area or not. It's a fairly loose, right? It's a fairly loose and drapey shawl. It's got like lace, it's got mesh. We got a whole section of mesh going on here. But I am in the stockinette section. I'm no longer in the mesh section. So, you know, we might have like a little, our mesh might have run a little amok, right? Our mesh might have gone a little wild. Yeah, our mesh might have jumped the fence. It might have jumped into the stockinette section. We might have a little mesh in the stockinette section there. On one tip of this shawl. So, but I think it's gonna be okay. We'll see. But that's kind of knitting with me, right? Those things happen. I say about my knitting and my crochet, my projects, they're like me. They're flawed. Okay, I don't think I've ever knit anything perfect. I just don't. Okay, I think I could think of like mistakes in everything that I've made. So, you know, that I made a mistake in this project, I'm not surprised. So we'll see how that works out for me. But anyways, I was talking about how I just uploaded this video of my family. So, you know, I know that some people are just on this channel for knitting and crochet, and that's totally fine. Like if you are just into knitting and crochet, then just watch the knitting and crochet. You don't have to watch anything about my family or my disabilities or any of that stuff. That doesn't offend me. That doesn't bother me at all. But if you are interested in that, I do have a video on my channel on my week at home with my family. And that did take me about, it's about 31 minutes. So if you don't want to watch it, though, that's fine too. But I was at home. If you are sighted, I'm sure you can tell that I'm back at my place now, right? If you're visually impaired, I do tend to knit and crochet on this bed. It's my guest bedroom. This is the guest bedroom that my parents use when they come to visit me. If you saw my packing video, I have a video that says packing from my trip home with the fam, no stitching, right? But we're going to look at some of my knitwear. That video is doing well, by the way, so thank you so much. If you watched that video, thank you so much. It's doing well on YouTube. YouTube likes that video. That's great. So, but that video is the master bedroom. That's where you get to see the vine lace. I talk about the queen size vine lace blanket that I knit, right? So you get to see that, although you don't really get to see it because it's covered in clothes because I'm packing. But I did make a YouTube short after I finished packing and got the bed cleared off. Yeah, I made a YouTube short about that blanket where you get to see the full thing. So check that out if you want. But if you want to see some of my other knitwear, look at it for sure. You can watch that video, but it's just a packing video. But apparently people like to watch that. So, yeah. So anyway, so I did go home. So if you are sighted, I'm sure you can tell that now I'm back at home, right? In our usual place, in the Stitches station here in the spare bedroom. We're no longer hanging out in my parents' backyard. I did my WIP Wednesday video last week from my parents' backyard, and of course it was fun to be outside their backyard. So pretty. It's all about the nature. You hear lots of birds in that video, which I love. If you on my video, I have a few videos that I made at like 6 o'clock in the morning because I'd been awake since like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was actually awake enough to do a video then. And so I talk about getting to hear all the birds and being up early. So I loved getting to be outside at my parents' house. I love that I could take y'all out there with me. You got to see like the apricot trees and the peach trees, all that stuff's in the background. But if you also watch that video, my apologies, it's super choppy because it was 95 degrees outside. Like we had a heat advisory, and so my phone was literally overheating. I was trying to record, my phone would overheat, and it would just shut itself down. It was like, nope, I'm too hot. too hot, too hot. So I tried it twice outside, and then we just went inside. And we whipped it from my parents' living room couch. We finished up there, and, there was like a plane outside, too. And then we're inside, and then I'm like standing up like a dog because I heard somebody at the door. Because guess what? I did hear somebody at the door. I knew I heard something. I was standing up thinking, I'm going to have to get the door or something, right? Because I heard a vehicle out there. And so I was sure that I was going to have to go and answer the door. Well, it's because we had a package delivered. So that's what all that was going on in that video. We had a package. That's all. That's life. Package delivery. But that's, that video was just like constantly being interrupted with life. And I guess I should expect that when you're outside or when you're out somebody else's place, right? But it was fun. It was fun. I'm glad I got to take y'all with me. For those of you that watched, that's cool. Thank you. So now, I thought about trying to do WIP Wednesday videos outside with y'all here, but honestly, like, this place is not landscaped, okay? If you watch my videos, that this place was built. It was built 10 years ago. It was built in 2015 for me. But I moved in on January 1st, 2016, so I've been here for 9.5 years. But it's not landscaped yet. If you know, the basement is still under construction. It's a construction zone. All my stuff from the basement got moved out. It's MIA. It's in storage. So the house wasn't even finished yet. So there's no landscaping done on this property at all. It wouldn't be, there wouldn't be like a nice backdrop. There wouldn't be like a nice background outside here to really do that kind of a video with. Plus I live on a highway, even inside, right? Even inside with the windows closed. What do we hear in my videos all the time? We hear trains, and we hear trucks, and we hear highway traffic. As much as I'd love to take y'all outside and whip it with you outside some more in the summertime, I kind of am thinking that the highway noise and the train noise, like if you thought that plane was loud at my parents' house, woo, should be outside on my deck when those trains go by. Now, it rattles, it rumbles, so I don't know that we'll do any whipping outside. We'll have to wait and see. Plus we got a heat advisory now here. Like today, oh my goodness, hot, like 90, I think 94 degrees today. And then we got like 2 days in the 80s. And then we're going to be back in the 90s. It's going to be in the 90s for like a week. Yeah. So I'm not going to be outside when it's that hot. I don't think it's good, I wouldn't do well out, sitting out in the heat in the 9-degree temperatures for a long time. I thought it'd be fun for my parents' house for, like 20 or 30 minutes at the most, but even that gets pretty hot for me. So I would worry that in those temperatures I might get too hot and I might get dehydrated. And so I'm not going to go sit outside with you here between the highway noise and the heat that we got going on here. I'm not going to be doing that. I wish I could take you outside and do something else fun like that. But, oh well, right? So let me know what the weather's like where you're at. Is it hot? Is it in the 90s? You got a heat advisory? Yeah, it's gotta be hot here. But that was my video of my family during that week as well. And my sister comes home from the East Coast. And so she tries to come home for my dad's birthday. His birthday is June 30th. And if you watch that family video, he just turned 89. And, we're well aware that we don't know like how many birthdays we're gonna have left with my dad. We don't know. That's realistic. We're realistic about it. He's still independent. He's still walking great. He's still cooking. He's still driving. But at 89, you don't know how long you're gonna have your parent. And on top of that, you don't know how long they're gonna be functional. Where they can still do stuff like that and interact with you, remember you, recognize you. So we know that we're blessed, but we also know that those days are numbered. That's just the reality, right? When you have a parent that's 89, that's just reality. And so she tries her very best. My sister works for a large corporation on the East Coast, and so yes, her division, her group, that her boss knows that she likes to go home during that midweek summer, but she still has to work with her work schedule. She has to work with their conferences. She has to work with their schedule, their meetings. So usually she's able to work it so she's home for about a week. She's here for his birthday. Didn't work out last year because my mom, I just had to have her knee surgery in May, so that was 2 weeks in May. But so she did miss my dad's birthday last year, but she was home for Mother's Day last year. Excuse me. It was all about the mama last year because it was her knee surgery and we're all taking care of her. But this year it's about Papa. And I love my daddy. This made me so happy to take all those clips of him. I am a daddy's girl. I am not gonna lie to you. I'm the baby of my family. I'm the baby. I'm my daddy's girl. Love my daddy. So it was super special to me to be home with him on his 89th birthday, to spend that time with him, to catch him doing his favorite stuff, because that's what gives him purpose in life. That's what keeps him going at 89, is still having stuff to do, like cooking for my mom and his little chores around the house. He worked as a chef, and so, he's been retired at 89, he's been retired for over 20 years. But the fact that he gets to cook still kind of still puts him in touch, with his career, with what he did. Because when a lot of people retire, they sort of lose touch with that. And so, they kind of lose their purpose. And he didn't, because he's still cooking every day. And then he's cooking for my mom, and he's cooking for us when we come home. So he just loves that. So, if you watch that video to the end, you got some fireworks going on. Sometimes my sister's here for the 4th of July. Sometimes she's not. It just depends on the calendar and her work schedule. So now we're at the 8th of July, but let me know, how was your 4th of July? Let me know in the comment section. How did you spend the 4th of July? I know not everybody on YouTube celebrates, right? I'm in the United States, so that's an American holiday. And I get that we are a global community here, and I absolutely love that. I love getting to, connect with people in other communities, other countries. I watch Jada and Stitches up in Canada, so we get reminded of what's happening up in Canada, like Canada Day, Canada Thanksgiving's in October, which I know those things anyways, because my dad's a Canadian citizen. If you don't know that, I don't know if I've ever mentioned that on my channel before or not, but my dad is actually a Canadian citizen. So we're actually, we're fairly tied to Canada. We're fairly aware of Canada because my dad had ties there for a long time. He had friends and a lot of connections to Canada. So now I'm gonna be real with you. At 89, most of his connections, they've passed away, right? So so we're not really in touch with Canada friends anymore. But we are, for most of my childhood in my life, we were fairly close to Canada and Canadian culture, knowing when Canadian Thanksgiving was different and that kind of stuff. So, but I do like watching. I love that about YouTube. We get to learn about other countries, what they're doing. Because I knit, I watch Arne and Carlos over in Norway, and I love that. Even if you don't knit, if you're interested in like Norwegian culture and Norwegian life, hey, check out Arne and Carlos. They're pretty fun to hang with. They're really funny, and you get to learn about Norway, Norwegian culture, Norwegian food, and I am a quarter Norwegian too, so of course I love that. Puts me in touch with my heritage. Love that. And then, I watch Krista from the Secret Yarnery over in Kenya. So that's really fun too, to hear about, things that are different over there, right? It's just neat to learn. So I love that about YouTube. I love that we get to chat with people in other countries. That's so cool. So I recognize that maybe not everybody watching this video is in the United States, but don't worry, you're welcome here on this channel. And I mean that everybody is welcome here on this channel. This is a page, this is a place for everybody. No matter, what country we came from. Stitching brings us together. Or maybe you don't even knit and crochet. It's okay if you don't. You're still welcome here. Yeah, it's you can be a stitching. You can be like a stitching spectator too. Yeah, you can. I'm almost done with this row. I didn't know if I was gonna finish this purl row or not. I was like, I'm slow at purling, but I'm cruising through it. So anyway, so I know not everybody, is from the United States, but if you did celebrate the 4th of July, let me know what you did. Did you see family? Did you stay home? Did you go to like a city fireworks display? Or did you do any fireworks in your area? If you watched that video to the end, we didn't even have to go anywhere. Those pictures, those videos on the end, the fireworks, all of that is from my parents' driveway. You can see all those fireworks from my parents' driveway, and you could kind of see like the tail end of, you can see parts of the city display. But I'm gonna be real with you. Our neighbors, our private citizens, actually have bigger fireworks than the city. That's for real. So I think celebrating on the 4th of July in the United States is important, but at the same time, let's be respectful of our neighbors, those with pets, because if you don't know yet, I had 3 guide dogs. I did. There's a whole video on my channel called Meet My 3 Guide Dogs, where I share with you about my 3 guide dogs, and so I'll probably talk about them some more here real soon, actually. But so I had 3 German Shepherds, and I know that fireworks can be super frightening for pets. And so if you got pets that were suffering, you got my heart. You do. I know what it's like to have a shaking pet on the 4th of July. So as somebody who's owned pets, it's like we're good with fireworks on the 4th. We expect it. We can prepare for it for like one day, and but it does get hard when it goes on and on and on. It gets hard. And then plus where I live, it's dry out. Okay, wildfires are a real thing where I live. The area, the community that I live, I follow a Facebook page for our community. It's like a community news page, and they follow the scanners, the police scanners, and they report everything. In our community on the 4th of July alone, there were like 44 or 45 fires, wildfires, brush fires started and reported and called in to the police. 45! Okay, that's a lot. 44. So, you know what? If you're shooting off fireworks, be sensible, be courteous, follow the laws, right? Common sense. Do not burn your neighbor's house down. I'm just telling you now. They will not be pleased, okay? I would not be pleased. Your neighbors would not be pleased. Even if your neighbors just have to evacuate. That's super stressful. It's super inconvenient. I live in an area where we've had wildfires. Very frightening. So if you're doing fireworks out there, keep those things in mind. And I don't even think that in most areas now, beyond like the 4th of July, I don't think they're legal, okay? So don't do it. If it's not legal, don't do it. So anyways, alrighty, my friends. Well, I am at just about the end of my row here. I made it through the purl row. I'm going to do my yarn over. Got a yarn over here at the end of my row. I'm going to slip my marker and knit my last 3. I got like a garter stitch edge on each side of the shawl. I'm going to knit that, and we're going to call it good, because I'm guessing that this video is getting pretty long. Okay, well, we made it. We made it. We made it through a knit row. We made it through a purl. This shawl is getting so long. I don't even want to hold it up because I'm really, really afraid. If you've ever knit a long shawl or anything long, you know the possibility of it coming off the needles is a real legit fear. Yeah, it is. So, but you also know that I like to turn on the light at the end so you can see the project. But I know I can accommodate sighted people. I know you guys like to see stuff. So, but you know what I like to end with? Creativity is for everybody, whether you see or you see like me, which is not in color, not in the day, not so much. I am legally blind. You know what? Creativity is for you. It is. So whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting or weaving or whatever it is that you do today is a great day to craft and create. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye for now. I'll be right back. We'll get the light on for you. You can have a peek at the shawl. Okay, let me put you on pause. Let me turn on the light. Okay, here is the shawl. Here it is. Like I said, I'm not going to stretch it all the way out because my fear is real. It's legitimate. I have had projects come off the needles before when they're this long. But here it is. You can see we got some garter stitch. We got some mesh. We got some stockinette. We got some, see, some more garter, some more mesh. We got my little boo-boo over here somewhere towards the end. We'll see what happens with that. Anyways, let me know what you think of the color of the sun-dried tomato. Is it red? Is it too red for me to wear? I trust my sister on this one. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye-bye for now.